Yeah,
So what is it? Do you know?
I don't know. Is it 10, 15 yards, something like that?
No, 10 would be at the front of the end zone because the end zone's 10 yards.
Yeah, I don't know, but a decent amount. I showed you the video.
Hey, anybody that wants NFL questions, Chuck's the expert right here.
Yes.
NFL and football, this is your man. He's got all the stats. He is fantastic.
Go Sports.
Yeah. So,
And welcome to the Barggianos podcast. My name is Chuck. I am your hostess with the leastest, and with me, as always,
Matt.
got Matt pouring a delicious Friendship Brewery Big Nose beer for Chucky B right here, in a nice glass. Right before the show started, I asked Matt if he'd be a gentleman and bend over and get me a nice cold frosty glass out of the fridge behind the bar, and he did. So thanks, buddy.
I happily obliged.
You did happily oblige.
You just had to say bend over.
I don't think you heard anything about the glass part.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're like, no, I need the glass. I need the glass.
Oh, my God. All right, well, if you're just tuning in for the first time, my gosh, I hope you're not. We like to start the show out with a little bit of a drink, Matt. What happens when we ring that bell?
Time for a drink?
Time for a drink. Okay. I don't know if we ever talk about favorite beers, but that could be my favorite beer. Hammer and I are hammernated? and enamored? Enamored? Is that a word? I'm enamored with the Hammer's favorite beer.
Yeah?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. He turned you on to that?
Well, he turned me on, yes. To that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a packed show today. We got some new swag here.
Some merch, baby.
We're going to talk about some NFL draft. We're going to talk about some other sports stuff, some viral, how social media is powerful, and, the kids make a play to it now. So, got everything going on. But if you want to start out with the merch, Chuck, usually we do this in the middle of the show. I'm just going to, put you out of your element.
Yeah, we guys are looking to represent the Barggianos podcast. That merch store is live, and you can get there by going to shop.barggianos.com, and has very many nice, delicious items. But one of those items, or two of those items, I should say, is we got a couple hats in. Are you a hat guy or not?
The problem is my noggin is so big.
We know you got a big head.
Usually, on a fitted cap, I'm like 7 5/8.
Okay.
Which is pretty big.
Well,
so snapbacks are tough for me because my head is so big. But we'll do it for size. Let me try this white one.
I believe that one is kind of big on me. So if you want to leave that there to see the size of your head versus my head, audience. Matt's taking off his headphones. He's stretching out his head. And
it's not even going to be close. Hey, folks. How you doing?
Oh.
Conductor Matt here.
Oh, that's good.
Top of the morning.
That's crazy. You do have a big noggin.
I know. I told you.
Holy cow, your poor mother. Oh, man.
Let me stretch this out a little bit.
Please do. I mean, what was that on? The third? I don't know if that's going to fit you.
This may not fit me.
You're a freak of nature.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I like that. Go one more. Let me see.
One more would be too big.
I want to see big. That was my favorite. I know everybody's got their own different shapes of heads, of course, but I got 3 different styles in. Yeah, I like that one. That is our trucker foam hat with the classic Barggianos logo, white. And then, yeah.
Maybe I can sport this backwards.
I like the backwards. Let's see. Okay. I like it. I mean, geez.
Look at that big head.
You got a huge head.
Yeah.
Wow, we're going to have to up to that extra triple XL hat sizes, but it looks good on frontwards. I like that. I like that. So this is the premium one. This is a couple more bucks. Like I said, we did some quality control. Chucky B spending some of his hard-earned money on himself, and then this one's a different style. This is the black one. Matt just had the white one on. Okay, huh? What size you on? Matt puts it on his head. It's on 3 rims.
5. Oh, 5. Two empty.
You got 2 spare on the black hat. Just go all the way. I never knew you had this large of a head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. That's when we were talking about hats. That's why I was like,
wow,
hats are tough for me.
I would be drowning in that right now. Okay. It fits. That's not bad. Okay, we did it.
Throw that on just real quick, and let's see what you look like here.
Look like a child wearing his grandfather's T-shirts.
Yeah.
I mean,
there,
look at the gap.
There you go.
You got 2 finger lengths in there?
Yeah.
Wow, you got man, that's incredible. That is incredible. Let me try this one. This is your big one too? See, I like this one. This is the white one.
Yeah, that one. I like that one better. I mean, premium.
Again, this is the premium one.
Pay a few more bucks, but looks nice. You got the premium one in black too, right? Or just white?
Yeah, I got the one in black. Black coming. I can't hear myself. Let's see. Here. Let's board this for a little bit. I don't know if this headphones are going to work with a hat. Let's see.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is you got black and white in this guy, and I'm usually black and whites most of them. I think this one's actually got a pink for some ladies, or if you're into pink and you're a man, I'm good with that too.
I love it.
You like that?
I might get a pink one.
Like that, but yeah, this is we're trying to keep everything low cost, so we're making pennies on anything. We just want to make people be able to represent the show a little bit. So,
but if you don't want to support the merch, you can support us for free by hitting that subscribe button on our YouTube page. And Chuck, tell them where they can watch every episode.
Well, thanks for asking, Matt. If you guys like what you're hearing and you like what you're seeing, you can check out every episode of the Barggianos podcast. And I make note for absolutely free by going to YouTube, to youtube.com/@Barggianos. And you can find all that stuff in our links, and it's real easy to find.
There we go. Let's kick this off.
Good. We got all this stuff out the way.
Yeah. So we had the NFL draft that just happened. And it's a shame. I should have brought, your brother-in-law Joey on for this because
thought about that.
He would have fact-checked me all over the place because he's like one of the smartest local guys I know about this stuff. And I don't watch the draft every year. Like I know some guys are like really into it, sit down and watch. But 3 things happen in the draft that I found, a little bit abnormal than what's happened in the last draft. So the number 1 draft pick, he chose not to go to Pittsburgh, where the draft was happening, and he stayed at home.
Why?
Well, from what I understand, number 1 draft pick, Mendoza, went to Las Vegas Raiders with your boy Gentry.
Okay.
Genty.
Build a team here. I like it.
So hopefully he does well. I really like the guy. But Mendoza's mother has, I believe, multiple sclerosis.
Oh, okay.
And she still goes to his games when she can attend, but he chose, apparently with multiple sclerosis, I'm not a medical doctor by any means, but like when you're nervous and get anxious and around crowds, like it really affects your immune system with MS.
Kind of heightens the symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
flares up, if you will.
He chose to stay home so he could spend that moment with his family and his mom could be in her best,
That's really cool.
element. So the second thing that happened is the Heisman Trophy runner-up, so the guy that took second place, Pavia, went to Vanderbilt University, chose not to hire an agent, goes undrafted.
No way. What?
Undrafted. So you got a Heisman Trophy runner-up, and he doesn't get drafted.
What was he like predicted to go in?
I don't know exactly, but they said his height and some off-field behaviors may have played a role in it. He's 5'9". How tall are you, Chuck?
About 5'9".
Okay.
Did he have a podcast? Did it get him in trouble?
Yeah, probably.
That happens.
So, and then the third one is a guy from Zimbabwe, Kenya. I forget where, but he has never played one down of organized football in his life, and he got drafted very, very late, almost the last pick.
How do you? I mean, I never played football in high school. Can I get drafted? Is that the same thing?
I guess so. So there was another player who played for the Eagles. I can't think of his name. Mattia maybe is his name. I don't know. Audience, check me on this. I'm sure all you football gurus are calling us out already. But they picked him for his athleticism through some camps. But I'm thinking, how does someone who's never played an organized down of, let's call it organized pitch or down of any sport, how do you get drafted? Like, how do you say, like, hey,
have you seen this guy, like a picture of him? Or
I have.
Is he just, does he look like a wrestler? Is he that big?
Yeah, he's built pretty big.
And what position?
Defensive end or defensive tackle?
Okay, again, you can roast me, internet, but I would feel like defense would need less, learning the game is quick if you're blocking more. But I guess you're still learning plays.
Yeah, just go get the quarterback.
I mean, I don't know.
You're still learning formations and plays.
Yeah.
Like, you have a huge learning curve to get familiar with the game. Like, you got a guy who's never played an organized down, who's going to go into a media room and watch film of preseason games or past plays and try to learn everything all at once.
Now, where did you say he's from? Just ballpark.
Zimbabwe,
Okay.
Kenya.
So, real question: do you know if he speaks the language, everything too?
I don't know.
Because my brain's kind of thinking like, I don't know, but like, God forbid he didn't like speak language or didn't translate very well versus, or also, and then not know the game. That's a dangerous combination of a gamble of a draft pick.
At that level, they hire translators, man. So he'll have his translator with him if he can't 100% of the time.
I'm poor. I don't remember or know these things. So
yeah, that's like Shohei Ohtani, who plays for the Dodgers. That dude doesn't speak a lick of English. He's got a translator with him all the time.
And they like to gamble too, right?
Well, I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly, they like to
allegedly.
gamble. Matt's like, not going there either.
Yeah, he didn't get popped.
Wow.
So, a few things I have here. I
want to give one thing, one shout out real fast. So, my youngest son, for the very first time this year, he got into football playing, and I was telling Matt, but he made the kicker. He got to become the kicker, and I was showing Matt a couple of videos. Pretty cool, pretty proud dad. This past week, he went 3 for 3. I didn't tell you that.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
He missed. I was joking with my wife. He missed every one of his practice hits, and I told my wife, I go, she's like, oh God, all nervous, nervous energy, and I go, no, this is good. I told her about bowling. I go, if I suck during practice, I'm on fire during the game. But if it's the opposite, we're doing a thing. So just shout out to my son. He was pretty proud dad moment there.
There we go. What was his longest?
It's the same spot.
Okay.
It's flag football right now. So
Predetermined.
yeah.
So what is it? Do you know?
I don't know. Is it 10, 15 yards, something like that?
No, 10 would be at the front of the end zone because the end zone's 10 yards.
Yeah, I don't know, but a decent amount. I showed you the video.
Hey, anybody that wants NFL questions, Chuck's the expert right here.
Yes.
NFL and football. This is your man. He's got all the stats. He is fantastic.
Go Sports.
Yeah. So, EA Sports. EA.
Now, I want to clarify something. I'm your sports guy, but Matt is your Kentucky Derby everything. So don't forget, you Kentucky people, Matt's better than you, he said, and he can do everything smarter, and you're very much more knowledgeable, right?
Yeah. I got a direct line to Baffert.
There we go.
Yeah.
People were lining up the comments last time about that.
There you go, Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, though. Let's talk about the undrafted player, runner-up on Heisman. Pavia is his name. If you got 32 picks, 32 teams, let's just say in a perfect world, every team gets one pick, the first round, but that doesn't happen because they all trade for their draft picks, etc. Say 6 of the team need a quarterback and your team 32. If everybody passed on Pavia and you pick him up, are you smarter than the first 5 that needed a quarterback? Or are you the dumb one that takes him?
Are you saying smarter? But if you need a certain position, it's not about being smart, right? You're picking what you need.
Well, yeah, but if you got 32 teams in front of you and 6 of them need a quarterback and he's second in college right now or second coming out of college, allegedly, because he was runner-up on the Heisman, that means, 4 other people technically passed on him because they need a quarterback position.
Yeah.
So if you take him, does that make you Smarter or dumber than the rest?
I want to know the context. So you said this guy had no agent, right?
Yeah, no agent.
So is this like if I went to trial for murder and I'm going to represent myself in court, and obviously everyone knows that's not a great idea to do?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, I was never a high level athlete like that, but knowing what's going on in the world today, stop being so freaking cocky and arrogant.
Was it about being arrogant?
I think so. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Like, why wouldn't you do it? You don't have to pay an agent up front.
Yeah.
He just gets a piece of the pie on the back end.
I could only imagine how much these guys have their different networks and contacts, and they know how to play the game, quote unquote. I seen Jerry Maguire. I know how this works, Matt. Okay, don't act like I don't know anything.
I mean, why? I don't know. Let's bring that question up. Why would you not hire an agent? Like,
I don't play professional sports.
Right. If you played professional sports in today's world.
Yeah, no, I would have no clue. To me, it sounds stupid.
Right.
And I don't call anybody stupid, but I don't know the context, to be fair. But it sounds like this guy just, prided himself out of a great opportunity of playing in the NFL. But luckily, when I go to Starbucks, he's going to be a strong person making my coffee. I mean, I hope this guy gets something. Hope he learns his lesson, and maybe someone takes him on a team. Or
I think he was invited. And again, audience, check me. Like, this is how much we just research and just go off our memory. I think he's going to, or was invited to, the Baltimore Ravens mini camp.
I mean, that's the other thing you're asking me about. Are people stupid for not taking him? No matter what happened at the end of the day, someone's got to be like, oh, we're going to still take a look at this guy. We may not get him on that draft or whatever, but if he's that good and he's got the experience, he's got the history, he's got the acclimates of being the second best, the Heisman?
Yeah.
Someone's going to pick him up. Someone's going to see. They can give him the bare minimum contract, because most people at that point, they're going to be like, wow, I made a mistake. I effed up. I'm desperate. And then someone's going to take advantage of that and be like, well, here you go. If you want to get on the NFL, here's your 1% contract you would have got if you would have got yourself an agent. But I would almost bet money that he will be on some team.
Maybe the practice squad.
I don't know.
Yeah. 5'9" is short for a quarterback, but
5'9" is pretty tall, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty tall. I look down on people.
Yeah.
Go sports.
If they're 12.
This hat gives me an inch.
Yeah. So that's the thing, I think about is, okay, let's say I know I'll get more than $100,000, if he signs on a practice squad. But my point being is, even if you would have had to pay your agent, you probably would have got a bigger contract to offset that agent cost than what you're going to get today representing yourself.
Yeah, I want to dig deeper into the story, because again, this is the first I've heard of this, and I would love to know the context. This could go either way. Most likely it's the way we're talking, where the guy was just thought he could do better, make more money. Who needs that? But you never know. Maybe he had some bad advice in his ear. Maybe someone said, hey, you're set. We're going to sign you. Something along those lines, and something switched. But yeah, that's, to me, like you said, you gotta pay a little to make a little.
Yeah.
And that's anything in life. That's not just the NFL.
So another cool thing that happened that I didn't mention, that I saw late as I'm reading this, is one of the scouts, I think, for the Dallas Cowboys, he actually got to call his son because they drafted his son. So his dad got through maybe 3 or 4 words asking him if he wanted to come to work, and his dad was starting to break down on the phone. So I don't know what draft pick that guy was. Regardless, it's pretty cool. You get to go and play for the team your dad works for, and your dad got to make that call to you. So probably a lifelong dream for both of them.
Sure.
Even if he knew he was going to get drafted, what are the odds that you're still available?
Oh, and that team. I mean, that's a business. No one's taking that unlikely. We like this person because they're nice. They're taking people based on business. So the odds of that happening is pretty minuscule. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it was real good to see. You still get those happy moments, I guess, out there, other than just friends around you. That they're proud. And these athletes work damn hard to get where they're at.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we can talk about how easy school is because they have tutors or things like that, and the portal makes it easier for them to make a bunch more money. But I mean, they work their ass off in the weight room, watching film, on the field, playing games, practicing, training, and things that, I see more and more when I read about this that I think people don't understand is just their diet. Like, it's not like you can go out like you and me and be like, hey, we're going to go out and get 12 chicken wings and we're going to be okay tomorrow. Like, these guys are on strict nutrition.
Speak for yourself, fatty.
Yeah.
I get it, 2 and a Diet Coke. Hey,
yeah, okay.
The one thing I was going to say is I didn't see pretty much anything of the draft I was trying to watch, but I did see a clip of, do you see the one where the dog was taking the guy's spot? That was going viral. So some guy got called in. He got the phone call. He stands up and he's like, "Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, sir." And the whole time, this dog's on the ground, and he's just like looking for a spot. And there's 50 people in the living room. The dog jumps behind the guy and he takes a spot. But yeah, go sports.
Go sports. And I know you were big on the Raiders with Gentry.
I was big on the Raiders because I like underdogs, and I don't know. I like taking a chance. I'm put a little faith in people. That backfired horribly for me.
I love the Raiders because I love Las Vegas.
I knew that was coming.
I mean, it's my second favorite team. You put Philly and the Raiders, and I'm there. Like, call me a bandwagon, call me whatever. But the teams in Las Vegas. I like the Knights who play hockey. I love Las Vegas, so my home away from home. So that's where we're at.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe we could do like a Barggianos field trip to Las Vegas. I would like that.
I mean, anytime you want to go to Las Vegas, Chuck, you just got to call me and tell me when you're going. I'll make it happen.
Like Tuesday, we're good?
Yeah, I don't care. You ready?
Okay. Did you see Las Vegas? They're trying to bring back people because everything's so expensive, as we spoke about. These all-inclusive deals? Yeah,
I did. So there's a lot of places out there now that are having like $200 to $400, 2 to 3 nights, plus like $200 to $300, or some of them are even offering like certain restaurants you can eat at 2 or 3 times a day or something.
I can't remember. There's like 3 of them I've seen. I don't want to say the wrong one, but one of them had you got 2 people. I think it was like $200 a person, like you're saying, around that ballpark. But you got like 2 meals a day that included a alcoholic drink and regular drink at everyone, unlimited like what do you call those, like beer and house wine? Spirit. What's the low end? But unlimited drinking. And then
but I think only at certain bars in the place.
But they showed the thing, and it wasn't just at the hotel you're staying at. Like these sister hotels.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You could go to different ones, and then there was like percentages off the cabana thing, which that can add up. No, I believe the resort fee was covered, the parking was covered, and then last one was the you got a show, either one show or 2 shows. I think 1 show a night. I mean, like, it was a good deal, and I'm like, that's what they need to do. Because if they keep doing that, people are idiots. People like to be, I'm an idiot. Like, I'm like, oh, it's all inclusive. I'll pay ahead of time. And then if I feel like I'm getting a deal, I'm going to spend a lot more money gambling. I'm not going to feel like so tight on my wallet and all these things. So I really hope this is a trend that's coming back because they really need that right now in Las Vegas.
I think it is. And I think, I know a lot about Vegas. I know a lot about the casinos. So the guy who owns the Golden Nugget, who also owns a bunch of restaurant brands, it'll come to me. I see their gift cards all the time because I was like, how did this guy get all of his money? But there's talks that he is going to buy the Caesars brand. So all Caesars properties. Wow. And he's a downtown casino, which we all know downtown on Fremont Street.
Fremont, baby.
Is, a different crowd. Food prices are different. Beer prices are different. Everything's cheaper downtown on Fremont Street than it is on the Strip. Now, if this guy does buy the Caesars properties, which includes Caesars Palace, Harrah's, Planet Hollywood, Link, Flamingo, the one that they're just converting Cromwell into Vanderpump. I would have to imagine, as smart as a business guy as this is, he's owned restaurants, he's owned the casinos down there, that he'll bring as much of this as he can to still be profitable to the Strip. If he does that, you're going to force the other big brand, MGM,
Yeah.
to do the same thing and follow suit. Then all of a sudden you have, I'll call it Revive Las Vegas. Everybody went there to gamble, drink, and eat cheap food.
Yeah.
Now it's, I'm going out there to see expensive shows, eat expensive places, and maybe I'll gamble a little bit. It's like total reverse of what it was 20 years ago.
But that's also why the attendance has been down record low, because no one wants to pay that. It's you can up prices a little bit, and maybe it got to a point where they weren't making any money. You're like, oh, we're going to up this a little bit. But then you just get greedy and you get greedier. And right now, nobody wants to go like middle class because you're like, I can't afford that. I'm not going to skip 3 house payments so I can stay at a 3-night hotel and grab a free drink. Like it's not something people are into. There's other options out there.
Well, and I think the other thing is with sports betting become legal,
Yeah, very
in
true.
more areas, you can gamble easier.
More options.
Yeah, there's more options. So, Vegas was trying to find that ceiling, and they kept creeping up.
It's like when prostitution became legal at Barggianos.
Right.
We really had no reason to leave anymore.
Yeah. But it's like when resort fees started, they were like $19.
Oh, really?
Okay. And everybody was like, oh, I'll deal with the $19. And everybody just got quiet about it. Now resort fees at a lot of the properties are anywhere from $40 to $65.
They're higher than the stay price.
Yeah,
the price you're paying for the hotel. That's insulting to me.
And not only that, here's what's really insulting. So, what do you expect to get with your resort fee? If you are paying a resort fee, what do you expect to get as a consumer?
Right. So a resort fee for me would be something more fancy than a normal hotel. So maybe a free spa, maybe some free room service, or a drink that would not be paid for in the maybe the mini fridge would be all included. Something where a resort feel, if you will.
Would you expect to be able to use the gym facility, like the weights, the treadmill, and all that?
Well, of course I would. No?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir. That's not even included in your resort fee. If you want to use like the hotel I just stayed at recently, both of them, if you want to use their amenity, it's like a $50 to $100 day pass. Day, not per stay.
Again, this is common sense we're saying out loud, but this is exactly the reason, or what is wrong with Las Vegas right now, in my opinion. And if they can bring back these all-inclusive deals, and they can be a little more expensive, I'd pay $500. I'd even pay $1,000, whatever it is. Make it where you kind of pay a little bit more ahead of time, so you're not worried about, oh, this dinner is going to cost me $600. You can plan that out. It's not everybody's bag of tea. Maybe some people want to spend the money and go these elaborate dinners, and that's fine. But for a lot of people, they want to be able to afford it. They want to be able to have that adventure, and right now, it's just not feasible. They can't.
Right.
They can't afford it.
You know what you get with your resort fee?
What you get?
2 devices, free Wi-Fi.
Oh, you say 2 devices?
2 devices.
How do they know it's 2? Oh, you're logged in with
because you have to log
God.
in with your last name and your room number.
And that's some high-speed internet coming at you.
Yeah,
Johnny.
I know. Yeah, you get like 2 devices free. And
wow.
What I absolutely hate, and I love Vegas. Everybody, I love Vegas. If you haven't known audience, if you haven't watched me, if you don't know me, I love Vegas. Home away from home. But the thing that really pisses me off is now at some of these places I stay, you don't even have a mini fridge anymore. You have a mini fridge with censored items in there. Mm-hmm. So you don't even have a place to put your shit. When I started doing my week-long trips in Vegas, about a little bit before pre-COVID, I got smart. I say smart, but I would Instacart day one I'm there. Me and the wife would go on there, and we'd buy chips, we'd buy Gatorade, we'd buy water. And
they don't like that. They come on to you, Matt.
And then put it in the fridge, have some snacks. Because if I go down to the gift shop and buy water, it's $6.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But to your point, they're pricing themselves out of the market, and it's making it harder and harder for people to have a reason to go there. To your point, why people who like cruises, why wouldn't you go on a cruise? I can go on a cruise, eat everything I want, gamble if I want, see nice places, see shows, do everything I do in Vegas with maybe not the real drunk crowd, and I pay half the price.
Yeah. Well, moving on, I just want to make fun of you tonight for having a stack of paper like you make fun of me.
I know.
That's what, 2 pieces? That's a stack. There's a piece of paper on top of another piece of paper I'm staring at.
Yeah,
So you have a stack of notes tonight.
I do.
Yes.
I brought that over just for like a to entice you.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Proud
So
of
I was like, do I really want to bring this over? I had everything pretty much in my head. And I was just like, I got this. But no, I'm going to bring this over just so I can, poke Chuck and he'll say something about my notes. But back to sports, moving from big leagues to little league. I saw this story out there that this kid was 9, I believe. Baseball is his passion, like loves baseball. And he was playing rec baseball for 3-4 years. And his parents, thought he was good. And the kid wanted to try out to be on a more competitive team. So the kid went and tried out for one team.
Like club ball?
Club ball.
Okay.
Select club ball.
Sure.
I don't know if it was like single A, double A, triple A for all you gurus out
But
there.
something you're paying for, and it's a competitive state.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he didn't make the team. So, kid's upset, and he asked his mom, did the coach not like me? So now the mom is torn. Like, what does she tell the kid why he didn't make the team? Guys, I'm pretty tough on my kids in sports. I probably too hard on my kids sometimes, and people say my kids get a disadvantage on the ones I coach because they live in my household. But as a parent, if your kid doesn't make the team, a competitive team, regardless of what he says the coach doesn't like me, what do you tell your kid?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
And maybe you don't know. Was the kid like horrible? Like he's 2 feet tall and he wants to dunk a basketball? Or was he just okay, average?
I have no idea, but let's just say he's average. Like,
okay.
Let's say he...
The reason I say is if he's average, I would say, hey, that's okay. You gotta fall down to get back up. You can't always get what you want. That's how you learn lessons. That's what molds you into the great individual that you will one day be, son. But let's practice a little bit harder. Let's maybe get you some, if you're really into it, maybe get him some trainers and, really put the time in and make sure he's putting that time in and say, well, we can try again. We can try a different team. Maybe that team was full. If you're looking to save feelings, you could make up some white lies. Say, hey, that was a really full club and that's a really hard organization to make. But if you're, you could just say, hey, we can try it again. It's about being positive and keeping it up. Now, on the flip side of that, if my kid was 2 feet tall and, like I said, wanted to play in the NBA, I might have a different point of view. I would be a little bit more realistic and say, hey, maybe instead of doing this, playing baseball, is there other things that you maybe want to get involved in? Maybe you're better at this thing. Maybe you're better at acting. Maybe you're better at, I don't know, whatever, it's golf or whatever, a sport that doesn't require that. So, but it's heartbreaking to hear that, where if the kid goes, again, if it was my kids, because, I'm a smart ass, I'd be like, absolutely, they just didn't like you. Yeah, you're awful.
Right.
You are awful, son.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame the coach, but no, really. Yeah, that's sad. And that's my problem with a lot of these competitive leagues. I get it. And I know it's a different world. This is a business now. It isn't like in the 80s, 90s. We've had this conversation. But it does make me sad when kids get so, that sport becomes their life. It's not fun anymore. Maybe they're having fun, but it's not as fun. It's more of a business. It's more of a, you got to be the best. You got to perform. Like, it's okay. It's okay to not be the greatest in the world. The saying about, hey, quit saying that it's okay as long as you had fun. Okay, I kind of agree with that. I don't think everyone needs participation trophies and that kind of thing, going that route. But at the same time, you need to allow your kids to be kids and have other outlets of entertainment too. Because if you're doing one sport, 18 days a week, and there's no other time to do anything else, to me, I see the kids like that. It makes me a little bit sad. But if the kid's really into it, that's great. I mean, that's one thing. But sometimes I see, kids need to be kids. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Kids need to be kids as long as they can be kids. And sometimes I feel like that takes away a little bit. And I'm not talking at every parent that plays kids and ball, so please don't take me like that. But I'm saying the ones that are like, maybe the kids aren't even interested in it anymore, or they're giving them unrealistic expectations of that kind of stuff, because I see that sometimes. It makes me a little bit sad, thinking like, man, this kid could be, climbing a tree or,
Right.
get into some trouble and doing this stuff. But it's like every single day he's doing this.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And I got, I'm on my third kid of playing competitive sports. And, I agree kids need to be kids. But I also tell my kids, if you don't want to play soccer, if you don't want to play volleyball, we'll quit next year. Like, I could give two shits. Like, you know how much time that'll free up? So to me, but I see the opposite out there so much, where parents are just pushing their kids because that's what the parent wants. That's what the parent wants. And it's like, geez, these kids are freaking miserable. But like when you and I were kids, like our friend Little Johnny was right down the street and we'd go down to Little Johnny's house. Now it's just different. All their friends they hang out with aren't the neighbors that live 5 doors down. It's the people they play with. But the one thing I have seen with my oldest daughter, who's not in club sports anymore, and I see it now with, my middle one, is they're friends with people on other teams. So like their network of friends seems bigger than what my network of friends was when I was little.
That's good though. It's good. It makes like a social network, if you will.
I think it's good, but then I look at people like, myself, Joel, Dave, and Ryan. I'm going to go sentimental here for a minute, where we've been friends for, 30 years. 30 years we've been friends. And like, you don't see that type of tight-knit group. And when I say friends, I damn near talk to these guys at least once a week, if not twice a week, 3 times, 4 times a week. And you don't see that anymore. So I have a lot of friends. I mean, Chuck, maybe debatable. But like, I got 3 real close friends where I'd fucking do anything for them guys. Not that I wouldn't do anything for you, but if they called me at
the fuck?
2 in the morning, and if Joel said, "Hey, I need you in Louisville tomorrow," whatever the reason was, and it was really important, I'd probably be in fucking Louisville tomorrow. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I don't know. I get that. I know we're joking, but that's cool. I got friends like that too, which one day we'll be on the show. I know a lot of your friends are on the show, but we'll come on here. But you make a good point, and you got to make close friends as a kid too. You can't have all those things. And to your point too, I feel like you see a lot of that too, where the parents are living vicariously through their kids because that's what they wanted. Or either they were a great athlete or they never made it and they wanted them to go to the next level. And or even worse is when the kid is trying to make the parent proud, going, wow, if I only subconsciously do this for them, maybe they'll love me. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
no.
And that makes me sad that the seriousness of the sports of today. And again, there's nothing wrong with these sports and these club balls. I think it's fantastic if you want to do it for the right reasons. But I just hope that all the kids are in it or having fun.
Yeah, and if my kid ran into it in volleyball where she didn't make some teams that she wanted to make, in tryouts, and my word was, try harder. Do you want to go to training? And I, as the parent, decided to, she wanted to go to training. I forked out the money to try to make her better to be the person. And we'll see where it leads her in years to come. But, I think the problem also with kids is they think since they're going to practice 3 days a week, like that's just going to get them where they want to be.
Yeah.
And I think the generation of kids now, there's a lot more things that are handed to them in a way to where we had to earn.
No, I agree.
A lot.
I agree. But you know what they didn't do a lot back then?
Drink beer.
They didn't like and subscribe to the Barggianos podcast. It can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, anywhere with social media. You can follow us, Matt. Did you know that?
Where do you want me to follow you?
Hopefully not the bathroom again. That was weird. You didn't even wash your hands.
You asked me to bend over before the show.
True.
And now you're complaining that I followed you to the bathroom? Like something's not adding up here.
Go sports.
You like public instead of private? Is that what you
Yes. I just said I want a coated frosty glass for my delicious beverage.
Well, Chuck, I'm about out of beer, and I think we said it all tonight.
I want to throw one more thing out here. If at the end of every episode, in case you guys don't pay attention or don't tune in long enough, Matt always throws me a bottle cap across the bar, and we always the music's going, we're having some fun, and tickling them, whatever, and then we take turns and we throw that bottle cap into the trash can. Tonight, Matt, I elevated the trash can. So just for you, it's a little bit easier to make. And if you don't make it, I'm going to make it a little bit more fun of you. So,
well, we're on
No pressure.
episode 68. And if I'm honest with myself, I've made one, maybe two, maybe into the trash can this whole time. So I'm like one of 68.
what would you say how many feet away from that trash can or are we?
20.
20 feet?
20.
Okay. There's a pool table right here in our booth. So we got to toss over the equipment. So if you ever see that, that's what's going on. A little behind the scenes action.
Let's take a free shot right now while we're still rolling.
All right.
And then this one won't count. This is just practice for range. And then we'll click it off and do a real one.
All right. Stupid first.
Oh. I'll go ahead and go.
You can go ahead.
Oh, that was close.
Okay. I like to. Here we go. Oh, that was way off.
Oh, yeah. You got to get better.
Another one.
All
We
right.
got to make sure we pick those up because Toby, I'm not paying for that vet bill.
Yeah.
So anybody, thank you everybody for tuning in. I think we said it all. We talked sports. We talked Vegas. We talked drafts. I mean, I want to talk draft beers next time. I'm thinking about getting that keg and that beer, and it's going to happen, Matt. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Next episode is episode 69, so be in store for that one. And Matt, with that, Barggianos out.